Hello. Today I wanted to utilize a song to discuss almost a duality in like licks that you're able to do tonal. So we're talking major pentatonic and minor pentatonic. You're able to do both of them somehow in songs that are in the dominant scale. And this is something that is difficult to describe and illustrate unless you have the perfect example. And today I stumbled across that, and so I wanted to make a video about it. So to start off with, what is a dominant scale? So a dominant scale is a major scale, but it's starting and ending on the fifth note of the scale. And this is usually called mixolydian if you're in a more classically taught. And those are called different modes. So most scales are diatonic, meaning that they use the major and minor scales, but different modes, Ionian, which is major, you have Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, etc., etc. All those are different modes, and they're just describing basically a different starting and ending place for your scale. So it's all the same notes, but the home base where you're resting is changing. And that completely changes how the listener feels and interprets those set of notes. So it's very important. It makes all the difference in the world. So Mixolydian is a very common scale, especially in blues and rock. And in our song that we're about to look at, I'm not going to play the song, but I am going to play just a little smidge of the bass line for you to hear, and I'm also going to show you the actual scale of the song. And then we're going to look at how we're able to utilize licks in both the major and minor pentatonics, which is really interesting. So we start off, we have our F note, and that's the root note. Then we go up to a G, then we go to an A, B flat, and D, or C, excuse me. There's C. So far, our scale has started off just like any other major scale would. Now we're going to go up to D. Then we're going to go up to E flat. There's where things are different. And then we finish back at our starting place, F. So when we're playing the chorus to Boston's Long Time, which comes right after this little interesting, almost like a keyboard solo, ambient stylization. It's a really cool song, and so the song is usually titled Foreplay as the first section / Long Time. And Long Time is what we're looking at today because it's such a good example. So, excuse me, during the chorus, we have this where we begin in our root note, and we're going to go to the E flat note. And really what the chords are is just F, E flat, E flat, B flat. That's what the real chords are for the guitar players. But the bass player is doing a little more, right? And so in this first section right here, you might or may not be as familiar with the minor pentatonic, but when I'm playing, that is a minor pentatonic little lick right there. So in this moment, I'm playing a minor pentatonic scale, even though I'm in Mixolydian, which doesn't necessarily make sense, but it fits. All those notes that I just played are in the scale that we're working with. Now, a spicy note we can throw in is the minor pentatonic third, which that note, boom, because that note is not technically in our Mixolydian for this song, but for short moments we can actually make it work. But you'll notice that as I'm playing this bass line, I'm not going to play that minor third note. So I'm leaving that one out. But everything else is in there. So I can be playing a lot of minor licks. But after the bass player in the song plays that's the first run through of that chord sequence, then he follows it up with. Now, if we look at that, that is a major pentatonic. So you're in this bass line, you're alternating. First, I'm going to do a minor lick. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to do a major lick. And you're jumping back and forth as you're playing the bass along with this chord progression during the chorus of the song. And so we're doing both. And so this was a very confusing thing for me as a young bass player, because I realized I was playing both major and minor pentatonics within a song, but I didn't have an understanding for why that was possible. So both of these scales are able to fit inside of the Mixolydian, or the dominant scale, and so you're able to get away with both of them happening at the same time. And this allows you to create very interesting and varied bass licks and runs, more so than you would kind of in a just standard minor song or a standard major song. And you really have to appreciate just how much freedom that gives you, and sonic diversity and all kinds of things. So when you're listening to songs, I would encourage you to try to pay attention to if a song is in a dominant scale and how you can utilize both a major and a minor pentatonic at the same time to accomplish whatever it is you're trying to do. So hopefully you guys found that interesting and very informative. I know when I first realized it, it was a game changer for me. It was a big moment. But for a long time, I haven't been able to present it because I didn't have such a good example within a song as this song is. So go ahead, listen to Foreplay Long Time by Boston and take a look at how that bass line works, because it's really incredible and such a useful tool for bass players to have.